Namaste. Artham Phenometry welcomes you all in yet another video series of interactions with market veterans and experts to commemorate our 5th anniversary. Today we have with us another stalwart of investment and finance world. We have with us Ms. Radhika Gupta, CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Edelweiss Mutual Fund. Radhika has a diverse experience in investment and asset management field, not only in India but globally as well. On behalf of Artham Phenometry, I welcome Radhika to share her views and expert opinions on topic aptly titled for her, concept of asset allocation. Thank you.
I want to take the opportunity to wish the entire team at Artham Phenometry a huge congratulations. Congratulations to you, to Tejas Bhai, on completion of 5 years. And I'm sure this is the beginning of a journey that will span decades and hopefully longer. I've had the chance to interact with the Artham team many times in my visits to Ahmedabad. I've also had the chance to meet investors at an event in pre-COVID times. And I think the team is constantly trying to find ways to add value to investors' lives. And I hope you keep doing that and bringing in more investors and building happier investors.
Hi, Radhika. My first question is that you have been a very vocal advocate of adopting asset allocation in every investment portfolio. In times like today's, when both equity and fixed income markets are behaving very erratically, how asset allocation can help investors in making investment decisions. Also, if you can briefly explain our investors about the concept of dynamic equity funds, also known as Balance Advantage Fund, and how it works. And finally, if you can also let us know the products and allocation of equity, debt and dynamic equity funds you will recommend to aggressive and moderate investors of Artham Phenometry.
I'm often asked what is the most important thing that investors can do in volatile times. And I always have a two-word answer, and that answer is asset allocation. I think in these times, you can't rule out volatility. Volatility, though, hogi, it will happen. Markets will be up and down, debt markets will be up and down, but you can build a portfolio that is robust to all these volatilities so that you as an investor feel a lot more peaceful. And that's why I think asset allocation, having a mix of different asset classes, whether it's equity, debt, international assets, is very, very important. I think of asset allocation like a balanced diet, just like a good diet needs to have dairy and vegetables, fruit. A good asset allocation needs to have a range of asset classes so that regardless of the time, your portfolio is robust. I'm also asked that in these kind of times, what is the best kind of product for most investors, especially moderate risk kind of investors? And I love this category of funds called balanced advantage funds or dynamic asset allocation funds. I personally invest significant amounts there too. I think that these are funds that suit the need of most investors, and that need is to make reasonable amounts of money when markets do well, but also not to lose large amounts of money when markets do badly. These funds basically hold debt and equity both, and then they change their allocation to debt and equity depending on market conditions. And that depending is not basis the discretion of a fund manager, it's based on a formula, it's based on a model. So I think balanced advantage funds go a long way in one, reducing your volatility, cutting down your losses, and also making sure that you can take advantage of different market movements. So in times when there is an opportunity to invest, they add more to equities. In times when there's an opportunity to take money off the table, they do that. And I think for most investors, they can be a very, very powerful product.
Radhika, if an investor of Artham Phenometry wants to take a fresh or an additional allocation into equities with a time horizon, investment horizon of 5 years, what category of equity mutual fund would you recommend to her? Will it be large cap mutual fund, a mid cap mutual fund, a small cap mutual fund, a multi-cap mutual fund, or a combination of all?
So there's no right answer to that question. I think one, if you're going to make an allocation to equities, I would recommend your time horizon is at least 5 years, but closer to 7 to 10 years. And then you can choose basis your asset allocation. A core part of your allocation, I think, should be multi-cap or large and mid-cap funds. I like these two categories because they mix large cap with some mid-cap component. Mid and small cap funds, I think, should be tactical allocation. However, I think in the given circumstances, do remember that mid caps have fallen significantly and they have underperformed large caps for a fairly long period. That doesn't historically last, so they look very good from a risk reward basis. But I think this answer is based on your asset allocation. As I said, the core will always be large and mid cap or multi cap funds, and the satellite allocation can be some mid and small cap.
My next question is that in past 6 months, we have seen a tremendous surge in retail participation in direct equities, as in directly selling and buying stocks. What could be your 1 or 2 key advices to investors who are directly investing into stock market?
So I keep hearing this, and I think my first and most important piece of advice to investors is that, whether you are buying equities directly, or whether you're buying them through mutual funds, or whether you're buying them through a PMS product, or whether you're buying international equities through some foreign brokerage account, please do remember that you're buying equity. That nature of equity doesn't change. So the principles of equity investing do not change whether you're doing it directly, whether you're asking someone to do it via a mutual fund or in any other format. So you have to go in for a long horizon. You have to remember that it will be risky, and you have to remember it will be volatile. Do remember, the second thing I would say is that when you're buying and you're doing your research directly and buying direct equities, do not compromise quality. In periods like this, there are periods where stocks that are not necessarily the highest quality do well over a few months. We feel very good because we've made money there. But do remember that making money over 3 months and making money over 3 years or 10 years is very, very different. So do not compromise on the fundamental nature of buying good businesses, even if you're doing it directly. And do not forget it's equity. Even if you've made a lot of money for 3 months, it can be risky, and it's just as risky as buying equity in any other format.
Radhika, my last question to you in this video series is about Systematic Investment Plan, SIP. We all know that SIP is a fantastic tool to create wealth in long term. But if we look at past 3 to 5 years of returns of SIP, the returns are below par. And this discourages investors to continue their SIP for long term. So what would be your recommendation and advice to investors of Artham Phenometry as far as their SIP investments are concerned? And what key important aspects you would tell them to follow as far as their SIPs are concerned? And what should be the ideal SIP investment horizon?
I see this question a lot. SIP returns have trailed FD returns, etc., etc. Why did I do an SIP? I'll just say a few things here. One is that when you talk about tenure, you've done SIP for a goal, and usually those goals tend to be long-term goals, at least 5, 7, 10-year goals. We at Edelweiss Mutual Fund did a quick analysis of SIP returns over the last 10 years, and we looked at how SIP returns had done versus just regular market investments. And we looked at 4 buckets where markets had done 0 to 8%, 8 to 12, etc., etc. Even in periods where markets have done terribly, which is on average 0 to 8%, your average SIP return, 10-year SIP return, was 9.5% compared to market returns of 5%. I think that's a very powerful statistic. Even in the worst of times, your SIPs have delivered high single-digit returns. And I would just tell investors to keep the faith. Also remember that SIPs are powerful in poor markets. Because you're doing installments and installments get deducted in times when NAVs are lower, you're actually getting more units. So SIP and the benefit of SIP kicks in. I'm personally a large SIP investor again myself. I think I put about 30% of my post-tax income into SIPs. I don't cancel SIPs, and the reason is I think SIPs are like a tax, just like I pay tax and I can't avoid paying tax. SIPs are a discipline that forces you to save, and over the long term, once you look at your SIPs, I think you'll be happy with the outcome. So just keep the faith in your SIPs. And in general, this is not just about SIPs. Avoid checking your portfolio on a very, very frequent basis. I think that takes away a lot of the heartburn that investors are going through. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to the investors at Artham Phenometry. Wish you a peaceful investing journey, and also wish that you are safe and, of course, happy at home. Again, many congratulations, Tejas Bhai and the entire team at Artham for the completion of 5 years.
Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm sure you will find it very insightful.
And thank you very much for all your support of last 5 years.
Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.